What's up, what's going on, legends? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be bringing you guys the mission guide for tier 2 of the White Lotus faction. This will have 7 challenges or missions in total, 5 of which you will have to complete in order to unlock the final one. You do only have to complete 6 though, so if you complete the 5 and then complete the final one, it will unlock the next tier. Also, when completing tier 2 of White Lotus, after also having completed tier 2 of the Legion faction, you will unlock tier 1 of Black Moose. Now, before we dive into it, if you guys do enjoy this content anytime or find this video helpful in any way, make sure to show your support for the channel by going down below and smashing that like button. Let's go ahead and throw an easy goal of 50 likes on today's video, as well as if you guys like to find your way back to the channel for more Call of Duty content, make sure you do hit that subscribe button alongside that notification bell so we don't miss you in future videos. All right, first up, we have Bombing Run. This guy is 1 part, however, it is a lot to ask for. It's going to require you to exfil with 6 kill streaks in a single deployment. The best way I found to do this was to loot in high value areas. Recommend looking at the airport, as I know this has tons of those orange or high loot boxes. Then I also recommend saving up a ton of money. That way you can go to a buy station and at least buy 3 streaks there. So you'll need at least like 36,000. Once you've acquired 6 streaks, don't forget the supply drops help as well. You'll want to move to your closest exfil point and then exfil successfully. Next up, we have Bag 'em and Tag 'em. This is going to be a 2-parter. Part 1 is definitely going to be a little tricky because you're going to actually have to face real players. It's going to require you to loot and extract 4 enemy dog tags. Now, of course, once you've taken out an enemy player, you're going to go over to their bag, open it, and there will be a dog tag available that you can take and put into yours. You're going to want to get 4 of these, does not have to be in the same match, and then you're going to want to exfil safely, and this will complete this challenge. Part 2 is a little bit different though. You're going to have to loot and extract 2 pieces of Black Moose intel from Rohan Oil. Now, this one can be a little tricky as it wasn't as clear as maybe the White Lotus where you went into a stronghold. However, in some of these buildings that I found on the outskirts, I was able to find these documents. They're not going to be in any sort of containers or caches or anything like that. They're just going to be laying out on tables or on shelves. You'll be able to walk up to them. It will say the Black Moose intel. Be able to grab these and complete this challenge. Next up, we have Intel Executed. This is going to also be a 2-parter. It's going to take you a little bit to do this one, as the first part is asking you to activate 5 UAV towers. Now, of course, you can go from tower to tower throughout a single match and possibly get this done in 1 match, but it is important to note that once you activate a tower on the map, you will not be able to activate the same one again, even once it cools down and have it count. So you will obviously have to move on to another part of the map. Now, the second part is going to require you to kill 20 enemies pinged by the UAV towers. Now, you're going to pretty much do this simultaneously alongside activating them. You're just going to want to activate it, eliminate all the players that show up. You should be able to do this probably quicker than you will actually activating the towers, and this will actually complete. Next up, we have Death from Above. Now, this one is going to be a little bit of a pain just because it's going to have a little bit of RNG factored in. First part is going to require you to buy a precision airstrike from a shop. Now, this is the part that's a little RNG. Every shop is different and it changes each and every match. You'll go to a shop, it may or may not have a precision airstrike, which would lead you to having to go to another shop. Also, you're going to want to make sure that you have 12,000. Highly recommend you get 36,000. That way you can just buy the shop out of the precision airstrikes once you actually find it. Part 2 is going to require you to use precision airstrikes to kill 10 enemies. But this is the only challenge I've come across so far where your co-op partners or anyone else that might be in your squad's eliminations will not count towards your challenge. So it will specifically have to be you calling in the precision that will eliminate the enemies. Found it was best to try to wait for one of those enemy helicopters to start floating toward the ground, kind of put the precision in that area and hope that I could eliminate as many as possible. Could take you quite a few precisions to do this. In some cases I only got 2 eliminations, and other times I got 6. And so within a few tries, I was able to complete this. Next up, we have Hostage Rescue. This guy is going to be a 2-parter and is based on a contract, so it's pretty straightforward. Part 1 is going to require you to complete a rescue hostage contract. If you do pull up your TAC map, you look for the little contract phone. You're going to be looking for the one with the handcuffs on it. And once you obviously get there, you're going to activate it. It's going to have you go to a location where you'll defuse a bomb for a hostage, then carry the hostage to an exfil helicopter. And then you're going to want to make sure that you put the hostage down, so that way it'll actually begin its exfil and take the hostage out, and you'll be able to complete part 1. Part 2 is going to have you exfil with the hostage evac helo. So essentially, once you've actually placed the hostage down, the countdown will begin for the helicopter to then take off. If you stay in, it will successfully exfil you, and then this will also be completed. Next up, we have Hit and Run. This is also a two-parter. Part 1 is going to require you to run over 16 enemies with a vehicle. I definitely recommend you guys get a reinforced vehicle, because some of those lower tier vehicles, they're just going to get obliterated by the enemies as soon as you come across them. It's going to make it very difficult to run anything over without just getting taken out or having your vehicle destroyed. Then part 2 is going to require you to fully refuel and repair a vehicle at a gas station. Honestly, if you jump into a vehicle at all and you travel toward a gas station, by the time you get there, it will need to be repaired or also refueled. So you'll just sit there, wait till the bar fully fills up, and it won't not do anything further, and you will actually get this part complete. Now, our final mission, once you've completed 5 of the previous missions we just discussed, is going to be 2 birds. This is the only 3-parter in this tier, and it is a little bit of a pain. However, if you find yourself lucky enough like I did, you might even spawn in the right area. The first part is going to require you to travel to Al Safwa Quarry. Once you get into the area, it will obviously have this part complete. Part 2 is going to be pretty straightforward. Once you are at the quarry, you're just going to need to kill or eliminate 18 enemies, and part 2 will then be finished. Part 3 is a little bit trickier. I found it was easiest to complete a destroy supplies contract. That way it would ping the safes in the area. Once the safes actually appeared, I just went and started drilling a safe, which caused a reinforcement helicopter to come in. My best attempts at taking them down was to throw double semtex to them, stick them, shoot them with a few bullets, and then it would easily explode, causing me to be able to get my destroy. Then I just went to a second safe, did the same thing, and I was able to do this in a single match. But it is a little tricky waiting for reinforcements to come in, so I kind of decided using the safes was the best way to force them. Now that's going to wrap things up for the mission guide for Tier 2 of White Lotus. Thank you guys for all the support in today's video, all the support in the channel, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Peace.